Hi everyone, here's another episode of Coding with Annie. I'm the author of Data Shep, a data science newsletter, how to get into the business. So here's another SQL question that you might get asked a lot in interview. So a lot of social media companies have user account and they just want to know the active voice in a particular situation, a group of people. So here's an example. Active voice is the total active accounts divided by all the accounts for that country in this scenario. So this is a two-parter. One is find all the active voice for US, and then the second one is in one query, find all the share of active voice for every country. So let's take a look at the data, see what it looks like. Users. It has user ID, name, status, and country. Great. So it says to look for all users in the US. So let's just take a look at all the users in the US. Country. There it is. Now, I'm just going to do it the long way. So I'm going to go count star so you can see the full process as all users. There's 17 users in the US. I'm going to wrap this in a table expression with all users as, okay, now we need to know all the users that are active. So I'm gonna go grab the same thing, active user, active, and here's where and status is open, where the active is open. Okay, so just to double check this, select star from all users. Oh, happened. Switch to 17. Okay. Should be using the latest version of Postgres. There you go, 17. And now we're gonna go find active users. So, so we have two numbers. We have active users and all users. So we just need to divide one from another. Now, in order to divide something, you have to kind of have them all in the same row. So I'm gonna go active users, right? From active users. We'll call this A. I'm gonna join all users. We'll call it X. So because you need to give an alias, but the column is unique, so we don't have to say it like this. So now we're joining, but what kind of join is this? Not an inner join, it's a cross join because there's only one number and one number. So we want to just get the all the possible combination, which is still one. So in this case, we can do a cross join. There you go, 9 and 17. So if we divide this number, active user, all users, they're both integers, and we will get 0 because this integer is 0.05 something, and when they integer divided by integer is still integer, so it came up with a, so it's as share voice. Okay, just give it a name. So, but if you pass one of them as a float divided by integer, integer divided by float, will result in a float. There you go. So for the US, the share of voice is 52.5294, like almost 53%. Now this is one way. Here's another way that's a little bit long form and has a lot of code. Here's another way that's a little bit a little simplified. So let's take a look at that. Users, where country is USA. Now this is a little trick that if you do a lot of SQL, you'll get to learn it. It's a sum case situation. Sum case when status is open, then 1, else 0, end. So a case statement, if the status is equals to open, then you return 1, otherwise return 0. So then you just sum in this one line, you sum everything that is open. And so we'll call this as okay, running out of space here, number of active users. Now, then we can go count star as total users. Right. So we run this. See, we have 9 and 17 in one line. So now we can do a table expression, but to expedite everything, we just put it under a subquery. Number of active users and total users and non-active users divided by total users. Remember, integer divided by integer is still an integer, so we can cast either of them as a float. We'll call that share of voice, right? Yep. There you go. So this query is a little bit, more condensed, and it still gets you to the same answer. But the trick is to understand the usage of some case. And you can do a lot of this. You can imagine you can collapse a lot of rows into a more complex logic here. Okay, so that's the answering this question. Now, in one query, find all the active voice for every country. Now, we limited the filter with country, but what if we didn't do that? And we just put country here, and then we group by country, and then we put country here. Okay, so here's all the country. Now, usually a report is not kind of like randomly outputted, either you output it alphanumerically by country, but we will do by share of voice. So order by share of voice, descending. So the largest number first. There you go. South Korea, we have 4 users, 4 active, 5 total, 80% share of voice. And the US is down here. We have 9 active and 17 total, so we'll have 52.94%. So this is how you can get using this little trick to make your code a lot more simplified and easy to read. If you find this helpful, please share and like so that I know that I'll do more of it for you. Thank you very much, I'll see you again.